Hello, unenthusiastically, hello. We're doing play ratings now. Hello, how is everyone? So, I'll explain the title later, I suppose, but I guess we'll just get started in it, like if you haven't already. And when I first saw the lineup, I was not exactly, I was not pissed off. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is solid. It's not great. It's not too bad, but I had question marks about Ortega. I was okay with Gundogan, but the great question marks. But in the first half, like listen, in the first half we ended up playing okay. We played just fine in the first half, and then in the second half, that's where the problems begin. Pep Guardiola decides to wait. We don't adapt, and obviously, Brighton does adapt. They are getting played apart by that Haaland-Marmoush duo, and they adapt to it. They make substitutions, they change their style, they change their system, and they adapt to how we play. They adapt. And what Pep Guardiola fails to do is adapt. We have on the bench, right now on the bench, we had Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, De Bruyne, Scott Carson, Victor Hayes, Matteo Kovacic, Jack Grealish, Matheus Nunes, James McAtee. We had that on the bench. And we did nothing. For the goal, the own goal by Marmoush, bad luck. By Gusnov, bad luck. Heads up, keep going, sure. Salvinho will get there when we get to the player ratings, but for the Pep, he has all the time in the world. To bring on De Bruyne. He brings on De Bruyne way too late. Bernardo Silva. I did not want Silva to come on, but really? You're disrespecting him like that. That is disrespect. Like, I'm sorry, that is disrespect. You fucking clowned on him. There was no reason for that. If he was shit, which you knew he was, don't bring him on to begin with. That was just taking the piss. I don't understand it. We will get to Bernardo Silva when we get there, yeah, but that is a disgrace. How Pep treated Silva there, that's simply put a disgrace. So, Ortega, we'll start off with that. I mean, he was woeful. He has a 6.5 here. I don't think I'd give him a 5 if I'm being honest. Big up, mate. Big up to Joshua. And, oh wait, I just realized. The chat is not showing. My apologies. Fuck's sake. That's not what I meant to do. There you go. Now we've got chat. Yeah, big up to Joshua, big up to Rosa. Pep is laughing at us. He's taking the piss, bro. Ortega. I mean, I did not mind Ortega when we started off the game. I'm not gonna lie. When we started off the game, I said, okay, he put in an absolute stinker. That ball, I believe it was from João Pedro or Mitoma running into him, goes into the back of the net. He's lucky there. Goalkeeper protection agency. He did not have the ball in his hands. The rule is you need to have the ball in both of your hands. He didn't. He did not have the ball in both of his hands comfortably. Should have been a goal. We are lucky, Ted. We are lucky. And he's played a woeful game. To set up for the free kick, which goalkeepers are responsible for. Poor. Saving the shot itself, that's very difficult. The first goal, the second goal, it's unlucky, but he's not really done anything. Distribution-wise, it's lacking. Gvardiol, I want to see some statistics here from Gvardiol because I don't think he played that well. Yeah. 6 clearances, 1 blocked shot, 4 tackles. Yeah, 1 added leading to a shot. I believe that this is to pass to Ruben Diaz, which I don't think is on Gvardiol. Gvardiol passes it, Ruben Diaz lets the ball go, woeful. Is that noted as a Ruben Diaz moment? It might be actually. Yeah, I think that counts as... Then what adder led to a shot? Hey. I don't know actually. Because Ruben Diaz also gave the ball away there for the free kick. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what moments they're talking about there. It must be the moment where he passes it to Ruben Diaz and Diaz decides I don't want the ball. Big up to Oliver Jensen. He's Isaac, I believe. He's Isaac's old account or new name. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but I'll give Gvardiol a 6 because he actually won all his aerial duels. But I just feel like when Gvardiol was holding onto the ball, he made a lot of silly passes. I think about the goal, by the way. Think about the goal. Gvardiol lost the ball here to Hinselwood. Then Hinselwood gave it to Baleba. Baleba spells it to Gundogan. Gundogan into Marmoush, and Marmoush scores. Like, that entire phase sums up the game by Gvardiol. A lot of sloppy passing. And here, you see it. Normally, Gvardiol's passing is better than this. 86% for the defender is not good. Do you think Savinho can improve his finishing? He needs to improve a lot more than finishing, mate. Right, Savinho. We'll talk about him when we get there. Gvardiol was a 6.5 for me. He wasn't woeful, but he wasn't good either. Ruben Diaz is a 5. A 5. Because Ruben Diaz... Wow, there are a lot of Bozo moments in him right now. The moment where Gustinov had to track back and block a shot from João Pedro after Ruben Diaz just lets the ball go. He's not paying attention. That's weird, bro. That's just proper weird. I can't lie. Big up to Ahmed. Big up to Ahmed. I don't get you. I don't get you. Do you have a problem with system or players? Me? Both. Both. Ruben Diaz had a lot of Bozo moments here. He had a lot of Bozo moments. Then Gustinov played very good. The own goal was unlucky. He's probably got a bad rating because of that own goal. But he deserves a better rating if I'm being honest. He played really good and he was covering for Ruben Diaz his problems, or his mistakes. Gustinov should not be covering for Ruben Diaz his mistakes. If I'm being honest, he shouldn't. But that's what happened. Gustinov had to cover for Ruben Diaz, ended up getting that unlucky own goal, ball went into him. And honestly, defending on the corners, we need a new set piece coach. Because the defending on the corners is woeful. They kept going into the same area, and the same back far post area. They headed the ball into the box, and it was always space there. And that's why they got the goal from the corner. Both their goals were from set pieces, which shows how bad we are on set pieces, honestly. So Gustinov, I'll give a 7.5 actually. I think he just played really solid. And I'm not gonna hold that own goal over him. I'm not sure why his player rate, his rating here from SofaScore is so low. Must be the own goal. He has a few sloppy passes, but so does everyone, to be fair. Both teams, very sloppy passing wise. Rico Lewis. One of his better games, actually. There was a moment where a cross was given from, I believe, Hinselwood into Mitoma. Was it Mitoma here? I believe it was. And Rico Lewis, again, far post, couldn't quite get there. They ended up missing, of course, but... I mean, that's the type of moment that I look... Or, no, sorry, was that a goal that was disallowed? I believe it was. That was the early goal, right, by Mitoma? I think it was, that was disallowed. So yeah, they did score, but it was disallowed for offside. His far post marking is a bit weak. Physically, he's weak. Like look at his ground duels, he doesn't win it a lot. And Mitoma is not a strong guy. Loses possession a lot, as I said earlier. But you'll find that for everyone this game. Tried a few long balls. Not his worst game, but I just feel like it's lacking. It's like very average, I suppose. And we need better than average right now. I'll give him a 5.5. Now this is where we get interesting here, the midfield. This is what I want to really talk about. This defense was not really the big issue. The midfield was the big issue. So first half, we played great, as I said earlier. Nico Gonzalez was doing very well, I believe. He controlled the game, he was defensively doing his job. Gundogan was a double pivot next to him when we sank a bit deeper, helped on the counters, but for the most part pushed up, tried to be that like creative player in midfield, even though that's not his job, tried to get the ball rolling, and we had great control with Gonzalez and Gundogan, and I feel like they were going in almost like, what is it called? Like one of those circle drawing things. I feel like that was them. Gonzalez was always central, and Gundogan was rotating around Gonzalez. That's what I feel like happened, and it worked. It worked very well, and in the first half it worked at the very least. Marmoush ended up getting his first chance there of the play between Haaland, Marmoush, Savinho, and Gundogan was involved too. It was just very fluid, very quick. But that dried out. As the game goes on, Brighton realizes we're getting absolutely fucked over by this Haaland-Marmoush duo. Because they were a really good duo. First, the penalty by Marmoush after Haaland and Marmoush connected. Then, finally, the goal by Marmoush, which was an incredible finish. I didn't get to watch... hello, by the way, Wim. I didn't get to watch much of the game. It was unlucky for City to draw. Or it was Brighton the better side. I think a draw was deserved. I think both teams were shit, if I'm being honest. Well, shit is a strong word. I think Brighton was shit in the first half. I think Man City was woeful in the second half. Neither team deserved to win, if I'm being honest. But I just feel like Brighton just got the better of us in the second half, because the first half was good because of that Haaland-Marmoush duel, as I talked about. Second half, they figured that out. We don't do anything. Savinho, terrible game. I feel like nothing he did meant anything. Maybe the first 10 minutes he kind of moved the ball around well, but he dribbled too much and then lost the ball. There's that one moment where he got onto the ball, dribbled all the way backwards, third around. And then he's looking around. Good pass it to Ruben Diaz. No, he holds onto the ball, loses it. Brighton goes on a counter. And now, if they scored from that, that's on Savinho. They didn't, but if they do. And Savinho all game has been poor, and it's not just his finishing. You can say, oh, he's a good player with finishing. He could have scored today and still been shit. He was not good today. Just way too much touches. He's lacking efficiency. When you look at a really good dribbler, they don't take 20 touches. He was taking touch after touch after touch. Then he either turned back and passed backwards, or he lost the ball. And so Savinho ended up getting hooked, deservedly so. But I think Savinho maybe could have played left wing, then Doku right wing, or take Doku off, play Bernardo Silva right wing, if you want to do that, Pep. We'll talk about that a bit later, but maybe left wing he could have played better, but he also tried to put in a cross, which wasn't very good. I feel like it was just very weak by Savinho. So, honestly, he's a 4. He's a 4 out of 10 for me, Savinho. This type of game, keep that up and you're a bench player next season. That's the honest truth. Because Bob is coming back. We have Marmoush now who can play on the wing. Foden who can play on the wing. We'll potentially get a new winger in the summer. We'll see how that goes. So, yeah, 4 out of 10 for Savinho. Gundogan. I'm kind of avoiding talking about the midfield right now, but I have to talk about it. Let's look at some stats for Gundogan, because I feel like he played well. I feel like he did play well. Good passing accuracy and forced passes as well, yeah. Yeah, key passes. 4 key passes and 90% passing accuracy. That's very good. Put in some crosses and long balls as well. One big chance created. I'm not sure which one that will be, actually. Does the Marmoush chance count as a big chance created? If so, that's nonsense. Shots off target, 1. A shot blocked, apparently. His duels, he needs to be better defensively, though. Like, look at this. Very weak and very weak fighting while trying to get the ball back. Possession lost 6 times, but I feel like he did well, especially the first half. I feel like he was a 7 out of 10 in the first half, and then a 6 out of 10 in the second half. But it's not his fault, but he's old. He can't play a full 90, and he played a full 90. I feel like if we took Gundogan off, put on Kovacic, we would have been a bit more solid, and we could have gotten a goal from Kovacic. Kovacic can score a goal from distance. Gundogan used to do that sometimes, but nowadays it's Kovacic doing those goals. You make it sounds like a rebuild is coming. I've given up on it. As long as Bald Narcissus is in this club, I don't believe in a rebuild. Honestly, what can I even say to that? Because I can tell you, I can tell you, you're wrong. And I can tell you, we need to do a rebuild. It is sad. But for Pep Guardiola, yeah, the reasoning for Pep Guardiola doesn't make sense. I could give you all the logical arguments for why we will make a rebuild. Pep Guardiola doesn't make sense, does he now? It's very annoying if you ask me. I think there will be a rebuild. I like to believe there will be a rebuild. Because some of these players, like, we just have to. Bernardo Silva can't stay. Like, we've got so many defenders who are leaving. I believe in a rebuild, but I believe he'll be better when Rodri is back as well, but I mean, when Rodri gets injured again, do we go back to this? Like, you know, I'll give Gundogan 7 out of 10 for the first half, or 6 out of 10 for the second half. So I'll meet in the middle with 6.5 out of 10 there. Gundogan played a fine game, I think. But again, when we failed to adapt, when we failed to bring on players that can get a goal, that can have control over the game, that's where we failed. Nico Gonzalez, I mean, these statistics look kind of whack, but I feel like he also played a good game, especially defensively. Like, listen, this guy is not Rodri. This guy is not Rodri. We need to understand that. Rodri is one of very few defensive midfielders who can attack, defend, and play as an 8. He can be a 6, an 8, or a 10. You could have Rodri as attacking midfielder, he will be good. We cannot expect the same from Nico Gonzalez. Defensively, he was solid for the most of the game. He was getting overwhelmed though. In the second half especially. First half he was brilliant. Second half I feel like he was getting overwhelmed. He was getting run past, he was getting passed around, and he didn't know what to do at some points. And I feel like that's, again, a product of Gundogan slowing down because he's old, he can't play the full 90. Honestly, I think both Gonzalez and Gundogan played okay. Gonzalez, I'll give him 8 out of 10 for the first half and a 6 out of 10 for the second half. Same as Gundogan. So I guess 7. That'll be a 7 out of 10 for the whole game. But yeah, I'm gonna give ratings here in 2 halves. Because this is a game of 2 halves, isn't it? Bernardo and Stones will be in the club next season. I hope not. They should both be gone. 2 of the biggest pains and yeah, well, Stones is great, but he is never fit. That's the problem. If Stones could be fit for the whole season, he will be ridiculously good. But he's not fit for 5 fucking games, bro. He has to go. He has to go. So does Bernardo. So this rebuild doesn't really matter. What's going to happen is that 2 or 3 new players come in, and Grealish and Ederson will leave the club. Well, let's think about that, by the way. 2 or 3 new players. So let's say a right back. Let's say Cambiasso. Just example. And then Words and I don't know, maybe a centre back. Yuma Ba comes back from loan, I think. So I see where they're coming from. I disagree, but honestly, neither of us know. Neither of us know until it's the summer. And I honestly would love to push back more on this, but I can't, if I'm being honest. I can't push back more on this because I'm not sure. I really am just not sure. I'll talk about Marmoush last because he's winning the Man of the Match poll right now. Doku. Listen. Just because you beat your man does not mean you're actually good at being a winger. Because beat your man, he strengths him so good, bro. He strengths him, bro. And then he does nothing with the ball. Over and over and over and over and over and over. How many dribbles completed does he have? 13 successful dribbles. None of them mean anything. What do you mean none of them mean anything? Let me show you. 0.14 expected assists. His dribbles are meaningless. Like, Doku was better than Salvinho, definitely, but, bro, these swingers, you can look at this, yeah? You can look at this, but ultimately, what matters is this, bro. You don't win football by completing dribbles. You don't win football by having a good first touch. You don't win football by this or that or possession or whatever. You complete football by scoring. He does not provide stats. What a winger. And I don't like stats in football. But when I look at my strikers, I always look at outputs. I don't care if they're dog shit on the ball. I want outputs. That's the first qualified for a striker. For the wingers, it's assists. For the wingers, I look at assists. Okay, so congratulations. You've got your dribbles. You complete your dribbles. They are meaningless. They are meaningless. Can someone tell me what the point is of dribbling? If you just pass the ball into the fucking stratosphere, if you just shoot it into the fucking sky. Like, he completed a dribble, by the way, near the end of the game. De Bruyne is with him. De Bruyne can give good crosses. What does he do? He runs past De Bruyne, crosses the ball in, terrible cross, and that was, I believe, our last big chance of the game. Or like, last chance to create a chance, I suppose, if that makes sense. Brother Alf, I had really high expectations for the summer, but I don't trust Pep. I don't believe he can/will do it. Luis Enrique is clear. City could have Michael Olise. True, but I'm not sure if we were ever in for Michael Olise. Were we ever in for Michael Olise? I'm not sure about that, but these two I was not awestruck by. You know what my problem was? It was Bruno Guimaraes. It was the fact that we didn't sell off Bernardo Silva. But like, again, I keep saying the same thing here. I don't know. Like that's the honest truth. I keep saying it like a broken record, but that's the honest truth. I don't know. So I understand you. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. But I just hope you're wrong, I suppose. Shall we talk about Haaland first? I think we shall. Who is winning this poll? Who is winning? Yeah, Marmouche is, so we'll talk about him last. Yeah, but they won't pay more than 50 million for him. Yeah, you're right. We needed to pay up the money in the... we absolutely should have paid up money in the summer trade, but we're talking about next summer now. We did spend cash in January. Remember that. We did spend 200 million in January. So that's why I say, in the summer, we might have a rebuild. Like, we only need 4 players. We only need 4 players. A right back, attacking midfielder, preferably a left back, and maybe an extra backup midfielder. And then you bring in Yumaba from back from loan. He's coming back anyway, so that's not a transfer. So I think get rid of the deadwood, bring in 4 players, an attacking midfielder, a central midfielder backup. Maybe I guess you could get a starting midfielder, but then you've got more questions about the position of Foden and stuff. I guess you can play Foden as an 8-10. We need to talk about that later. But yeah. I don't think we need to get that much. 4 players is what I'm looking for. Mike McNall if we get a new goalkeeper. Or Chevalier, whatever his name is. That guy. One of those two, 4 or 5 players. We are honestly doing fine then, I think. I think we can do that. Do you really think Yumaba will get the chance? He has to. He has to. And if he doesn't, that's on Pep. If he doesn't, that's on Pep. But he has to get a chance. If you look at the way we are, he has to get a chance. And I think it's just fine for him to be a bench player. For him to play every once in a while, like maybe 1 in 5 games. But he has to get a chance. He has to play that 1 in 5 games. Not like Nico O'Reilly. He has to get a chance. So, Erling Haaland, I think it's a... I mean, I'm repeating myself, aren't I? It's a game of 2 halves. And in the first half, look at this by the way. What did I say after 8 minutes? Oh look, Haaland is getting more involved. We're gonna play well, I said. And we played well in the first half. Haaland was involved. He was getting passes off. He was moving the ball around. He got the ball forwards. Dribbles are a bit woeful, we all know that, but he was involved. And we were good when he was involved. He got that penalty, of course, which he scored. Good penalty. Never really in doubt, is it? But there are 2 chances that he missed. I think one chance is really the big one. The cutback from Doku, I believe. The ball came a bit high, he came onto it a bit quick and put it into the fucking space. Norwegian space program. Now if he scored that, I believe it would have been 3-1 or 3-0. Yeah, it would have been 3-1, right? So then we would have been a lot more comfortable for the rest of the game. But he didn't score that, unfortunately. But he played good in the first half. Again, it's the second half where it's really changed. Because they figured out that Marmoush Haaland's duel. They mark Haaland a bit more closely, they come backwards, they don't push up as high, and they adapt to us. They watch Gundogan get slower, because again, he's old, and Haaland is slowly taken out of the game, because we can't get a ball into him. And then he has to drop back all the way into our own half to get onto the ball. I'll say 6 out of 6.5. I'm thinking. No. 7. I think I'll give him a 7. I'll be generous to Haaland. I'll give him a 7 out of 10, despite his 2 chances missed. He did score a good penalty. He did get involved in the game. He did create the chance for his own penalty, by the way. He created space again for Marmoush for a goal. Let's talk about Marmoush now. Brilliant goal. Brilliant game. Played off of Haaland really well, and he's actually the one constant. Whereas everyone had a game of 2 halves, Marmoush was good all game. For 90 minutes. He was moving the ball around quickly. Got in a few balls into the box as well. I think he got 2 or 3 crosses. Let's see. Crosses. Where is that? Yeah, crosses. 1 cross. Okay, only 1 cross, but he got in a cross. He got it up the pitch, basically. And he did that very well. His goal was incredible. He just couldn't quite get a final ball in there. He got a few balls down the wings with Doku and Salvinho, but they didn't make enough of it. He dropped down into midfield to help out. He bounced off of Haaland, which allowed us to keep possession a lot. Because when Haaland brings the ball down, we often lose it because no one dared to pass it to. Marmoush, he stayed. Haaland can lay off the ball. Marmoush goes forward now. Marmoush made good runs. So Marmoush was the one constant in this half. Or in this game, should I say. I'm not gonna give him a super high rating. But I'll say 7... No. Yeah, I'll go 7.8. 7.8 for Marmoush. Because I do think he played well. And I do think he deserved some credit for that. Even though I do expect a bit more of him as well. So, with that said, shall we talk about PEP and the bench? This record gets worse and worse, by the way. Man City used to have the most points per game records. Now it's the worst. Yeah. That's 07-16. What do you mean 07-16? It's 15-16. But yeah, right now we're woeful. Bernardo Silva, I've talked about him at the start of the stream. Phil Foden. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, bro, about Phil Foden, to be honest. Out. Pep out, guys. It will be a lovely discussion. It will be a lovely discussion that we'll have. Luis Enrique in. Luis Enrique will ball, I think. Luis Enrique, especially if you give him the money. Pep had. He'll ball, bro. Phil Foden played worse than Bernardo Silva. Phil Foden came on for the Bernardo Silva and he played worse. What can I say that I haven't said about Foden yet? Tell me something I have not said about Foden yet. Right about nothing, so... This man, bro. How is this man selected for England, by the way? How is this man selected? During the stream, by the way, during the watch-along, I said something along the lines of... what did I say? I think I said, after the Marmouche goal, that's what we've been needing from Foden all season. And that's again what we're not having from Foden. I'm not sure how Foden has dropped off this much. I've talked about it I've talked about it forever now, but it needs to improve, man. It really does. I believe, and let me read this. I believe Luis Enrique could create the best possible team for the City. I also think he could improve Savinho, Doku, and maybe even Haaland. I see where you're at. I see where you are at. But for the finishing, Savinho as well. But Savinho has other areas he can improve in. It's just a lack of clinicality, isn't it? Foden here, when he played, he was woeful again. Man is ghosting. Worse than Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva came off and we got worse. Like come on. And then De Bruyne. He was not given enough time. De Bruyne should have been brought on after 70 minutes. 60-70 minutes. We needed to do this, yeah. Let me pull up our tactical pad and let's talk about what we should have done. Give me one moment. Tactical board, here we go. So... Real Madrid is 1-0 down. Yikes. Foden is the most protected person. Foden is shit. The guy is washed at 25. It's 25 already. Real Madrid, bro. Let's see this. Villarreal, bruv. They're massive. Villarreal could be in Champions League, couldn't they? Yeah, they're 5th. Let's go for that Villarreal win, bro. They need to get that 5th spot. They're getting Champions League, bro. Because I believe, UEFA coefficients. That's not what I need. It's Spain and England, right? Spain and England? Fuck's sake. I just need the coefficients. Where can I say? Here we go. Yeah. So they will get Champions League if they keep winning. Big up to Villarreal. I think they've only played the Champions League once before. So we had Doku. Where is Doku? Here he is. And Gundogan. Again, I liked Gundogan at this game. And what we should have done, in my opinion, is take off one of the two wingers, which we ended up doing, and bring on Foden. That's what I wanted to do. So we ended up doing that. So we took off Savinho for Bernardo Silva and later for Foden. Okay, now put Marmouche left wing. Take Doku off because he's been dog shit. Bring De Bruyne on. Potentially bring on Kovacic for the Gundogan. So now we're looking at 3 substitutions already. I guess 4 because of Silva. Or we can do this. You take these two off. Savinho stays or Doku. Savinho, Doku or Marmouche stays. One of them lots. And you bring on Matheus Nunes for the left wing. Because Matheus Nunes, for all his faults, has provided G8 this season. So you can have all of these over here. You can have Foden, I suppose, over here as well. But just have someone. Just have someone. What an absolute joke. Indeed. His game management is absolutely laughable. Yeah. Like, this would have been better, I think. We just waited too long. We just waited too long. That's the honest truth. It's not on the plates, this one. This is not on the plates at all. The lineup was good. He pisses on our face with it. He takes the piss, man. He takes the piss. He laughs at us, bro. Pep Guardiola must be laughing his bollocks off right now. It's honestly tragic. Like, it's honestly tragic, guys. I want to cry. Like, when I watch Man City, I feel the need to cry. At the very least, you know what I can say at the very least? Oh, are you live, by the way? This is City. Are you live? Oh no, yeah, you went out. I said on my watch long, but Nunez left wing, Doku. At least Nunez got output. There you go. And I don't rate him. But put someone on. Put someone on. Put De Bruyne on. Put Kovacic in for the Gundo, because Gundo played a good first half, got tired, got not to keep it up in the second half. Do something, man. Yeah, ending now. I'll redirect to Dave then. Yeah, so Dave, I'll redirect to him. Honestly, Pep out, by the way, I signed your stream. Honestly, everyone is joining the dark side. And will this get better in the summer or next season? We don't know. But what I can tell you is... Yeah, he got 10 assists, bro. Why is he on the bench? And Bernardo Silva playing? Like, bro, can someone explain this to me? Why is Bernardo Silva playing here? I think we should have brought on Matheus Nunes for the left wing, absolutely. But yeah, we're gonna redirect now to Dave, so stick in here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Alfred and chat, guys. Alfred and chat, we're redirecting to